Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's good to talk to you again. It's been a little while since we've had a little chat. But last time was on the telephone, back old school style, a few years
All
back.
right.
So it's good to
Yeah.
actually see you in person here. But man, how's your day going? What's been going on today?
Oh, not that much. It's very early in the morning here, actually. It's well, not that early. It's 11:30 now, but yeah, I've just been up for about 2 hours, and I had another interview before that. I had a coffee on my roof, which I have access to. So it's been a beautiful morning, but I'm still mildly affected from a bank holiday yesterday and a massive party the night before. So yeah, a
So
little slow going.
talk a little lower, talk a little quieter. Yeah.
All right. Yes,
Over. Yeah.
exactly. Fit the vibe. Yeah.
Well, of course, man, the new Ocean album, Holocene, is that how you pronounce Holocene? Holocene. My
Yeah.
terrible Australian.
Yes.
Um, is
That's pretty good.
yeah, it's close. But man, it's just been released and it's such a kick-ass album, man. It's been received incredibly well by everyone. I mean, that must be such a massive relief because you pour your heart and soul into it and then you put it out into the world and you sort of waiting for you got that little period of time where you're waiting for everyone to give that feedback. How's that been for you?
Yeah, it's been great. And well, I won't say surprising, but like honestly, we didn't really know what to expect from like, the reception of this record, but it's been exceptionally well. It's a bit of a change of direction maybe, or just like opening new doors for us. So we weren't sure if our older fans would roll with it, but it seems they really do. And it kind of makes sense also. Like a lot of people have been saying it's a less heavy record. I actually don't think that's true. It's just that there's less heavy parts, but those that are there are probably heavier than any previous record, and that is also because of the fact that we kind of build it up towards that point, and not give 100% all the time. It's all the key of dynamics, really, and that seems to resonate well with people. People seem to love it, and I think we're just in the lucky position now that after 10 albums, we've kind of brought up our followers and fans in a way that they appreciate what we do, kind of almost no matter what. So that is a great privilege, and like while in the beginning people were still complaining. I remember when we released Heliocentric, the first record with Loic on vocals, everyone was saying that this is not metal anymore, and like those voices have fallen silent now, and it seems that people just appreciate what we do no matter if it's metal or something else, or whatever it is. So that's great.
I do like how you're sort of pushing with the electronic stuff as well. It makes it a little bit more atmospheric as well. Free up a few things musically. I'm not just a metal dude. I love like Radiohead and Portishead and
Yeah, we all
kind
do,
of stuff.
man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's
Yeah.
that side. So when I don't know, I like the proggy stuff that blends some of those elements, So and I guess people seem to be pretty warmed up to it. So I mean, you've
Yeah,
even
and we all do too. Like if you look at what we listen to in the van, it's actually not that much contemporary metal. I mean, we do all listen to heavy shit, but like we also listen to a lot of electronic music, and we're from Berlin, obviously. That also has a big impact on us in everyday life. It's probably the world capital of electronic music now, and there's a lot of cool cutting edge stuff coming out that is just really groundbreaking and awesome. And you're exposed to that all the time here, so that has definitely had an impact on us. And yeah, we listen to all different kinds of music in the van or in the bus, from fusion and jazz to electronic music to really heavy shit. So I think this album also kind of reflects that, like what we've become as people, and how our personal music tastes have developed. I think Holocene is a pretty adequate reflection of that, actually, and that's why for us it feels very comfortable to release this record, because it shows that diversity of what we listen to personally, I think.
And what about playing these songs live? How that, because you smashed out like what was it, 150 shows? It was insane amount of shows. Like when was that over the last year?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we did like 150 shows in the last 6 months. Well, that was between like August, September 2022, and then like February 2023 when we came back from the European tour with Karnivool.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fucking shows, and we all decided that we need to kind of take a break after we got back from that last tour because it was just very intense, and that's what we're doing right now. And now we're all like starting to feel it again. Sometimes it's just important to take something you love away in order to still be able to love it. And that's we've understood that long ago. So like, yeah, we tend to load our schedule pretty full, but then right now we're not seeing each other for like a good 4 to 5 months.
Wow.
And we're just now getting back together to start rehearsing the Holocene stuff because we pretty much forgot all of it already. Like we always work that way, that we write a record, then we forget it, then we relearn it to record it, and then we record it, and then we forget it again, and now we relearn it a third time to tour with it and prepare for the live show. So this is what's going to happen now, starting in 2 weeks, that we're all going to get together and start rehearsing the Holocene material. And right now I'm itching, like I'm ready again, but that's also because we took this little break of 3 months. Now it's going to be 4 months when we get back together. And then we're going to go out pretty intensely again in the fall. We're going out on a co-headliner tour here in Europe in September, October. Then we're going back to the States in November, December, probably. And we just started discussing Australia for probably February next year. Fingers crossed. It's still in its infancy because we will have a new setup there, touring agency wise. But yeah, we definitely want to come back, and it's been too long. It's been, when was it? 2019, I think, was the last time we were over. So
What was that?
yeah,
Who was that with? I'm trying to remember. It's like there's been it's like the snap in Marvel. Like it's like I don't even know the before and after. Who'd you tour?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been it was 2019. It was with Procfest.
That's right. That's right. Was that with Leprous?
There was no. We toured with Leprous in Europe, but that was it was Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane was Procfest with a bunch of Australian bands, and I think Monuments were also on that bill.
Yeah,
and then we did headline shows in Adelaide and Perth on our own, basically. So yeah, and then we did New Zealand. So that was was in March 2019, I believe. Or in February 2019, we went to India first, I remember, and then from India we flew to Perth. Yeah,
I should remember that. Maybe I hit my head really hard over the last couple.
It was pretty big shows in Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane. It was it was great. We were just so fucking tired because it was like all 6 a.m. flights like every day. And we were headlining, so we had to be there early for sound check at like 10 in the morning. So like we would fly at 6, go straight to the venue to sound check, then sleep for like 2 hours in the afternoon, and then play a show, and then be at the hotel at 3, and then leave to the airport at 4. And that like 5 nights in a row. It was actually the most exhausting tour I've ever done. And after that, we also decided that fuck no, like this, we're not going to do it like this again. Fuck that. But it was good times. It's just that I barely remember it because I was so sleep deprived that I couldn't remember my mother's name. It was fucking crazy.
Oh man. Well, how are you going to do it next time? Do you think you'll just space it out a little bit, or just
yeah, man, we want to enjoy Australia as well. It's such a fucking beautiful place to be, like there's no point rushing through, and we have friends in most cities where we can stay. So I would love to spread it out over 2 or maybe even 3 weekends and do like two to 3 shows on a weekend, and also avoid these ridiculous early morning flights that may be like $50 cheaper, but is that really worth it? That's obviously decisions that you have to take together with a promoter, and we didn't really take care of that well enough last time. And we learned our lesson, like, because sleep is very important when you're on tour. It's very, very important, because you also want to enjoy it and you want to be able to deliver a good performance. And it's just very important that you get to rest. And we came from India, we were already pretty fucked, and then this was rough, but it was good shows and good times. And I can't wait to be back. Like, Australia has always been very kind to us, and you have a very active and engaged prog crowd, which tends to like us, which I find interesting because in Europe, we're not usually playing in that field so much, like I feel like it's more segregated here, or we're more part of that like post-rock and post-metal scene. And in Australia, you have this very strong prog scene and they really love the ocean. So it's great. It's different from the crowds we get over here, but in a very cool way.
We've got a lot of friends down here, as you mentioned before, the Karnivool boys, the Low boys as well. A shout out to those guys, Sam and the boys. Adrian,
yes.
Adrian did your, was it last video, the Sea of Reeds?
Yeah, the Sea of Reeds clip. Yeah,
so
he did
good.
that. He's such a great fucking director. He's amazing. I've been wanting to do something with him for years, and it never really worked out because of his busy schedule. And like now, this time we could finally make it work. And I love that clip. It's very like it's in a way it's a very cool statement because it is so anticlimactic. Like it's you need to really watch it to the end to get it, because in the beginning you just see these beautiful images, but you don't know what it is. And then at one point you realize it's fabric, and then only at the very end you realize it's a dead body. And you really need to watch it through from the beginning to the end to understand that. And so it's kind of like a statement against our short attention span YouTube society, where everything has to ignite within like 5 seconds, otherwise you're going to skip it. If you do that with this clip, you're not going to get it. And it's interesting because of course in YouTube it doesn't work well, that clip, because it's so anticlimactic. But we intentionally wanted to have a clip like that is just very different from everything else you get to see these days, and where you need to have some patience and let yourself in for it to enjoy it. And this is what this album is about too. If you only listen to the first track, you don't get a glimpse of what this record is going to be. You need to listen to the whole thing through. So Adrian did that very, very well, and I love that clip. Came out super good.
How did you pay him in beer? Was it like the Australian currency where you go for a carton? You know what I mean? Mates.
There would have been a lot of beer, but maybe next time I'll bring it up.
That's the mates currency down here in Australia. I don't know how you do it over there in Germany. It's like, oh mate, I'll hook you. I'll do it for a cardo. Just go for a cardo.
A container of German beer.
What's your equivalent to that? Like when a mate does you a favor, what do you got over there in Germany? Is it a carton of beer, or is it a bottle or something?
In my personal case, it's usually vinyl, because I make vinyl and everyone wants vinyl. So I pay everything in vinyl.
I like vinyl. Actually, I was just
there you go. Everybody likes vinyl these days. It's like that.
and that's a good little segue. Is the cover of the vinyl of this album is fucking amazing, dude. Like, I can't wait to get it. Like, man, the patterns on it is just incredible. Like, did you do it yourself? Well, did you?
Yeah, well, the design was done by our long-term associate Martin Kvamme, who did all of the previous Ocean record packagings. Basically, is a Norwegian artist that doesn't do much music stuff. He does all the Mike Patton artworks. But apart from that, he's an interior designer of airplanes, so he does very different stuff professionally. But we've worked with him since Precambrian, and he's just amazing. And this time it was a collaboration with another guy, Stefan Alt, a German guy, whom I know through the Lustmord tribute compilation that I released on Pelagic last year, where the Ocean also did like a Lustmord cover song, basically. And he did the artwork for that, and I really loved that. And I brought them together for this Ocean project, and it's been in the works for over a year, and a ridiculous amount of mails exchanged. Like we had one original draft that we completely overhauled and discarded because we felt it was too conservative, and we really wanted something that is kind of like feels modern but without looking too much like a prog metal album, so it was difficult to achieve that. And we're super stoked with how it finally turned out. And not just the design itself, also all the packaging, like it's all printed on special all black dyed paper with like copper foil embossing and like UV varnish and special offset inks. And it's just something like when you actually hold it in your hands is like only then you will understand what it really is. If you take a photo of it, you can get the idea. But if you just look at it in a 2D scenario on your browser or something like that, you just don't get the full picture of this packaging. Like it came out pretty spectacular. I'm very, very happy with it.
I got to get my hands on a copy. Hey, like
Yeah.
I'm so impressed. And the album cover itself, it's kind of like, you know, is it like meant to be like some kind of optical illusion? I guess because you know when you the way
it can be,
how
and
do I
it will
describe?
be.
You know,
Yeah, no, it's just circular shapes, but like kind of like hard to explain what it really is. Like we're taking up the circular theme from the Phanerozoic records in a way, also to show that it's kind of like it belongs there. You know, it's an appendix to the Phanerozoic records, but at the same time, it's very very edgy and modern, and it looks great when you animate it. So this is what we're working on right now, because we want to actually work with video projections again for this record. It makes a lot of sense. And we are working with Dana Schechter from Swans currently. She's doing animated visuals for each clip, and it's going to be super psychedelic and like you said, optical illusion style, where you just get dizzy watching it. And I think it's going to be really, really cool. But yeah, we're not sure yet how and when we will use it. If we only use it at special occasions, like big festivals where we can really have that massive screen, or whether we're trying to incorporate that into the general live show. I haven't fully decided that yet, but for now, the first drafts we've seen look incredible, and I think that was something I didn't really have in mind when we started working on the artwork. But when it was finished, it was kind of logical to go in that direction, you know, and see like how you can now get that whole thing to move and do things. So that's the next step. Yeah.
that's one thing I've noticed though when I've been scrolling through like Facebook, and you know, like someone shared the cover or something, and it's gone. It seems to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't even describe it. It's got like it moves. I don't know. Maybe it's something in my coffee. But have you not? That wasn't intentional, was it? Like the way the shape sort of.
Oh no, we had some visualizers for actually the pre-boreal video that we released is already done by Dana, and it gives you an idea of how it's going to be, because that was already animated and moving. Like that was probably what you saw, like the first video we released for the opening track. That was all just animated stuff. So it's going to be a bit in that direction, but more really cut to the music, also rhythmically, and more spectacular still.
That's awesome, man. And another thing is of course it wraps up the paleontology series. Now it ended the last album. I struggle with the the titles.
Phanerozoic 2.
Yeah, what you said. Yeah, obviously that Holocene was the last track on that. Was that always planned to have it connected? Is this been a long-term goal for you?
No, not at all, actually. Like this record wasn't planned for. It was a bit of an unwanted child scenario. Like it happened because Peter started sending me synth-based ideas during like lockdown, and I felt inspired and added my parts to them, and added guitars and drums and other parts. And like by the end of that process, we had a record. And in the beginning, we didn't know if it was going to be an ocean record even, you know, like we just felt like writing music. There was nothing else to do. And by the end of it, it very much sounded like an ocean record, although it had a bit of a different emphasis and more dominant electronic component, but it still had that ocean vibe. And so it was pretty clear then that, oh, cool, we just wrote another ocean record, you know, without really wanting to do that. And then we felt that it really connected well with the track Holocene and like the end of Phanerozoic 2. Like if you played it back to back, that all made sense and that felt logical. And that's when the idea came in to make it sort of this appendix to the Phanerozoic albums and to close the cycle with another chapter. But that was not initially planned. Like Phanerozoic 2 was supposed to be the last record on that Palaeontology-Inspired Album Series that we started with Precambrian. And this is just something that happened. So yeah, there you go.
So where to next, I guess?
We could just go on like this forever and add another chapter and another chapter and another chapter. But
Who's to say you can't?
Yeah, no, this is it, man. Like I'm really done with this now. I need something new. And I can tell you there is another record that's already written that I wrote at the same time as Holocene. So while Peter was sending me his ideas, I had also been working on my own tracks, and there's a whole other record that's already written, but we haven't started recording it yet. And that one will definitely be something new. I promise.
Has it got a name yet?
No, it doesn't. No.
Oh, okay. I thought I was going to get some
Yeah.
kind of exclusive.
No, I have some ideas what I want to do with it conceptually, but it's all still in its very early stages.
Awesome. And one thing I did want to mention was Karen Park on the record
Yeah.
as well. Man, that I goosebumps, dude. It's fucking incredible that her vocals on there. Like, how did that come about?
I've been a huge fan of hers for years. I release her band Hotrods on Pelagic and also her solo stuff now for the past two records. So I've known her for quite some time, and I've always been a massive fan of her. And she was up high on the list of possible collaborations. And here, it just made sense with this track somehow. When we started recording vocals for Holocene, Loic and me picked out track by track wherever we felt inspired and started working on the vocals. And that was the track that was left over in the end, where we didn't really have anything that we were 100% sure about. And I had some ideas. He had some ideas too. We recorded them, but they didn't really feel right. And so we realized maybe we need some help here, or maybe we should ask someone else, And then Karen was the first that came to mind. And I sent her the track and told her a few things about the album concept, and everything else she did on her own. She wrote her own lyrics and vocal parts and melodies, and what she sent us as an initial demo kind of ended up on the record as it was. I mean, yeah, I rearranged two parts very slightly, but everything else was pretty much exactly how it ended up on the record. So it was magic. Like, we heard it and we were like, fuck, this is a whole new dimension, And yeah, very, very happy with her contribution. She's great to work with and just an incredible artist. And I hope we also help to give her a little more exposure now through this track and this collaboration, because she really deserves it. She's a one-of-a-kind artist with a 1 in a million recognizable voice,
Yeah, it blew me away. Like
Yeah.
I'd never heard it before, and I was like, "What's this?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. But have you got a top collaborator? Who's your number one? Maybe someone like that, like maybe even Beth Gibbons. Called Beth Gibbons from Portishead Up, or someone like
I
that.
think now that we have Karen, actually a lot of people said that Karen has those Beth Gibbons moments,
Yes.
and so I think no, that we work with Karen. We may work more with Karen. I would be open for it, but there's no need to reach out to Beth. But obviously, we're huge fans of Portishead, so yeah, would have been another great match, I'm sure. But yeah, I don't really have a short list of possible future collaborators. We worked with Jonas from Katatonia on the Phanerozoic albums, both of them. There was also really nice creative collaboration, very similar to the one with Karen, in a way that he also completely came up with his own parts, and it instantly was like, yes, this is it. It was perfect. There's a couple of people I have in mind that I would love to work with. I would love to work with Chris from Over at one point. I think he also has a very unique voice that I could imagine very well in the context of contemporary The Ocean. But yeah, there's definitely lots of options, and we will see where it takes us.
I'm excited, dude. I'm excited about possible tour down here and what you're working on. But what in the immediate future? What's next? You're gonna be hitting the road, obviously. What else you got planned for us?
We're going to start rehearsing the Holocene material now. In about 3 weeks' time, we're going to start. Then we have a couple of summer festivals in Europe, and then we're going out on a co-headliner tour in Europe in September, October. And probably the States after that in November, December. We really want to headline the States. We did 2 tours there last year, one with Leprous in March and then one with Catatonia in November, December. So I think we've laid a good foundation there with Phanerozoic 2, and we really want to go headline ourselves now. So that'll be November, December probably. And then, like I said, hopefully Australia in February is the plan right now, maybe combined with some other Asian dates. But yeah, we will pretty much be very busy again starting in the fall. So now is the downtime that we're enjoying very much, but it's soon going to be over.
Oh man, I know. Yeah, it's exciting times, man. I hope you enjoy your break though. You know, instead of talking to jerks like me, you know, but you know, bugging you on a day off where you hungover and you know. But dude, I hope we can catch you for a beer down here in Australia in February or March, and come to the Gold Coast. If you're in the area, man. Come to the Gold Coast, have a beer, and we'll
Oh yeah, we'd love to. Yeah, I think we did a Gold Coast show once. Wasn't that also in 2019, or was that on the previous tour? Byron Bay, we did.
Oh, Byron, yeah, but that's
It's not far, huh? It's not. Yeah,
about 2 hours that way.
yeah, right.
Yeah, but we're a
Yeah.
little further. We're between Brisbane and Byron. We're smack
Yeah,
in the middle,
the nice part of Australia.
the best part of Australia. Don't worry about
Yeah.
that. Just come here and then go home. You can make them all come here.
Whenever I'm talking to Australians, everyone always talks about how cool Melbourne is and how much Sydney sucks. And I'm like, yeah, but if I were to move to Australia, I would live in fucking Queensland in the tropics. Like
You heard it here, mate. You heard it here. It's going down. That's going to be on Blabbermouth. It's going to be like,
yeah,
yeah.
Cairns or something.
Hey, man, Gold Coast is
But
fine.
there's not much music happening up there. Just all tourists, I guess.
No.
So that's the problem. Yeah.
Unfortunately. But anyway. Hey, brother, it's been really cool hanging out with you again, and I want to wish you all the best, you and the boys, and mate, enjoy your adventures very soon.
Thanks, man. Will do, and see you on the other side.
Let's go. All right, see you, man.
Take care. Ciao.